What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Geeks and Movies podcast.
Yeah.
We watched National Treasure last week, and hopefully you enjoy that movie too.
Yeah.
So we got this week's, obviously. Ben had to pick his favorite sci-fi / fantasy film.
Don't show me.
I'm not showing you.
I'm so tempted to look.
I already know them all.
Yeah. So for my top 3 sci-fi, I chose everyone should know this / fantasy.
I knew it.
Star Wars 7.
The Force Awakens.
Oh, brilliant! We can all agree this
Rogue
has
One's-
to be in the top 3. Me, having lived in New Zealand for so long, I chose
course.
The Hobbit. Unexpected Journey, number 1.
The next movie is going to be unexpected.
Why The Hobbit, not Lord of the Rings?
Because I enjoyed the story of Bilbo. I like the story of Frodo as well, but I feel like this was the beginning, like the very beginning to all of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
My third and final sci-fi fantasy.
I approve this one.
Super 8.
Yeah. Have you watched it yet?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, okay, see, that was the thing. I was thinking
the thing is,
I
I haven't seen it in like 2 or 3 years.
Same, but I've seen it like
But
3
when I
times.
saw this, it was my, by far, one of the best movies I've ever
Oh
made.
man, now I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's that good.
It is. J.J.
J.J. Abrams.
So yeah, Star Wars and Super 8, they're all J.J. Abrams.
I'm
Star
surprised.
Trek.
The Martian wasn't on that list.
I saw The Martian, I almost bought it,
Or
but
Interstellar, or
I know, I was wanting it too, but this
Super
takes the
8.
cake. And the only reason I didn't throw Martian in is because we watched like
We watched
a
it.
month
too,
ago,
yeah,
so. Alright.
Let's watch Super 8.
And action! Guys, watch out!
I've got 9 people missing now. There are things happening around here that I can't explain.
We have to find this thing. I don't feel good about this.
Go! I saw it. No one believes me.
I believe you. What the hell?
Alright, so this was my sci-fi pick of the week. The other 2 were Star Wars and Hobbit. For me, personally, I've watched them way too many times, and I thought it would be nice to watch something that we haven't all seen in years. You've never seen it, so this was your
never
first.
seen it, my
First time in
And-
a couple, but
and
this
for-
is my 3rd time in total.
Yeah, for us, it's been like
Yeah.
at least 2 years since we've seen this movie, so I think it was a nice
It was a good change.
refresher just to watch it again, because I enjoy this movie, but we don't all enjoy this movie as much as I do. So we're gonna...
Is that a hint?
No, it's not a hint. But we'll just talk about some of this stuff. I've started to write things down on a tablet, so I can actually put some stuff to video. There were a couple scenes in this movie where Chris and Jer both called out something.
Jared being my brother, not the guy who was
Yeah.
on here before. We haven't met him yet. He will be in some future video,
Sometime. But anyways, Jer, since this is a J.J. Abrams film, meaning lens flares, he's like, oh my gosh, the lens flares. And we all just burst out laughing.
and then we notice and focus on all the lens.
That's
flares
all I
after that
watched for
point.
the rest
I'm
of the
just looking
thing.
for him. Just looking
Yeah.
for him.
Towards the end, they're climbing down the cave.
Oh, yeah.
And literally, there's no light anywhere, but there's just a blue lens flare streak blurred out across the screen for no reason.
There's the when they're down in the cave, the sparkler he's holding, and there's just this massive white streak across. It's like, yes, that's realistic. And the other one that Chris commented, he's like, I bet
boy.
you he's hunting for Pokemon. and
At the
in reference to
graveyard.
Pokemon Go. And this is the part where he's just gotten in a fight with his dad, and he drives off on his bike to a cemetery to go see his dead mother. And this is where Chris thinks it is an appropriate time to bring up Pokemon Go. It is not. This is a sad moment. He is mourning the death of his mother, and you think that's all right. Anyway, no, it was really funny. I laughed too. So.
Oh my gosh. If we're just going into general opinions of the movie,
Yeah.
This was honestly okay. This is a spoiler alert because it might change now. This was on one of my other lists.
Yeah, that's
for
what
a
I thought
different
was
genre.
funny, because when I ran into him at his work,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's on my other list." I'm like,
So
"That's pretty cool."
Wasn't on mine.
I bet it wasn't. You haven't seen it.
So it was on one of my other genres of my top 3, and I feel like I might have to replace it. Like, 'cause,
yeah.
like it's a still good movie.
Honestly, I would too, just because we've already done it. You don't want to have it on there. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this could have been another option again.
Yeah, but it's just
So.
like I thought when I was looking at my list, I'm like creating the list for this genre, and I'm like, this has to be on that list. And then watching it again, it's like it's still a good movie. I still liked it, but it wasn't as good as I remembered it a couple years ago. Like I feel like in the last couple of years, the amount of movies I've watched and the amount of growth, I guess, in my opinion on movies and stuff, it kind of sunk down just a little bit. It's still good, but
No, I could agree.
I don't hold it as high as it.
I could agree. I never really. I thought this was like one of my top, and like I still do, but it's just not as good as I really remembered. Because the fact is, like J.J. Abrams has done so many movies since, and I just feel like those are actually just better. But that's still one of the very first movies of J.J. Abrams I actually ever saw.
I think it was,
and I thought it was the best
Yeah.
at the time. Like this movie was when
2011.
2011, so that's still like
5
5
years
years
ago.
ago. So
So I was
Something to
like
think about.
17.
it's 5 years worth of movies, guys. That's quite a bit. Kyle, you've been kind of quiet. Might as well get it over with now.
Rip it apart.
Yeah, I mean,
full
just
blown.
rip it. Just rip it.
I'm not gonna rip it.
Oh, he is.
I'm not gonna rip
It's
it.
not even going to be above 5. I don't.
I like J.J. Abrams.
Of course you.
I like the directing in this movie.
You like the lens flares.
I like the little.
He did Lost, right?
He did Lost.
So
He did Fringe. I thought the first 30 minutes of this movie was pretty well done. I liked the kids going out to make the movie.
Yeah.
It was really cool. The train scene was pretty cool. But after that,
Production value.
that's all I heard. They said that so many times, like House says autoimmune. And it was
Autoimmune
just
disease,
like
yes.
they threw that word around so many times.
Production value and mint.
And mint.
Okay, if you watch this movie and you picture Donald Trump saying mint, it sounds exactly like that.
It was a mint.
It was mint. It was mint.
Huge. Absolutely hugely mint.
The first 30 minutes was fine. I was kind of into it, but then it kind of got sloppy, in my opinion. After
I
the
also
train
feel
scene.
like it was slow though. It got slower near the middle. Like
It
it
got
was
really
slow to start, but that's all right. But you're right.
It got really slow. There were more like 2 movies in this movie, focusing on the kids with their movie making and focusing on the military and the police force looking at this alien type thing. And it kind of stayed like that for an hour. And then they kind of grouped it together in the end. It just wasn't thrilling, though.
You're right. I think they could have done it better if they made this movie like another movie longer, and really focused on like back and forth. Because I feel like the back and forth between the kids and the military it wasn't really coinciding together. It was more like the kids were doing one thing, and then you also have to pay attention because the military is doing this thing.
Yeah.
You kind of got to focus on both at the same time, but you can really only focus on one at the same. So
Yeah.
you're right. I can agree.
And
I'm agreeing.
I don't know if it's just all the alien movies that J.J. Abrams does. It just wasn't thrilling. Just all of a sudden at the end, the guy decides to take
It was
off.
emotional. It was an emotional.
I don't like
edit.
why he couldn't have done that an hour earlier. Take all the metal parts and like fly off.
That was
Because he needed
it took,
enough. He needed enough of the.
It took a
motors
course of
and
2
powers.
hours to get all that stuff.
But like, what did he need? I didn't get it.
He needed all like the cords. He needed materials because he needed to build that magnet to attract all of the cubes. and make
build
it
a
shipped.
ship.
But to do that, apparently he needed half a town
Half the town.
of things. I have to agree, that's a little absurd. Half the
I
town.
don't get it.
It's a small town.
It's still a town. Every engine stolen. Some woman's crying about her 12 microwaves, which I don't know why she has.
I think she owned a store.
Oh.
Maybe my expectations were really high for this movie
We
because
kind
it's
of-
a J.J. Abrams
And we
film.
kind of stoked it up. At the
But
beginning.
we also need to
I
remember
expect
that
a lot of
it was
opening.
one of his first, though, wasn't it?
I expect a lot
It's
of,
not his first movie.
No, but it was
especially with Lost. Come
He's
on
got
now.
he's gotten a lot more practice.
true.
I expect a lot of,
Lost
like,
was before
twists.
2011, so
There was no twist.
no,
There wasn't?
There wasn't, in my
I guess-
opinion.
I feel like the mystery was really there, though. Like,
Was it?
If you were watching it though for your, I don't know, was it not for you?
I
Yeah,
think 10 Cloverfield Lane blew this movie away from me. I really did.
See,
Really
like
scares the crap out of me.
the first time I watched
Maybe
this
that's
movie,
why, because I had no idea how Cloverfield was going to intertwine with Cloverfield Lane, 10
Yeah.
Cloverfield Lane, and it just scared me. The guy was psychotic.
I,
But
He did a good
was he?
job. He did a good
But
job. I was expecting more
Yeah.
thrill, more box opening, like
Yeah.
he's known for. More like, wow, I did not see that coming, and
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
No, it's good. Another thing he said was, I can get back into disco, because he's asking the kid about his sister, because he wants to date the sister, and he's like asking him what kind of music she likes, and he's like, disco, I guess, and he says, well, yeah, I think I could get back into disco. It was like very like under the breath, but it was hilarious for you.
I think that was kind of a good point. Was the amount of humor, like J.J. Abrams, I find, like,
There's
especially with
quite
Star
a
Wars
bit of
Episode
humor.
7, there's just those subtle, like, one-liner, like, moments where it's just, like, funny.
Where it can make you laugh and remember it, though.
Yeah.
You didn't find the humor at all, did you? You were so
Star Wars was funny. I didn't get it in this one. I didn't get it in this one.
Okay, one of the kids threw up twice in the movie. That was 2 times too much.
Gross.
2 times too
And
much.
I'm pretty sure the second time I actually saw the stream and it was, like, totally CGI coming out of it.
The army guy's shoes. He was in Air Force.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm going off about this. I was in
Oh,
cadets, and like
man.
that shoe was not sharp. Like he could have done way better. No excuses.
Even if an
Oh,
alien comes
okay.
in.
One of the kids, the main kid, he's talking to this girl he really likes and doesn't know how to talk to girls, obviously. And he's like, "Want to see my train model I made? My train? Do you want to see my train?" It just
The one
goes
I made.
on like
Yeah.
really awkwardly. It was just funny.
Her zombie acting, though. Yeah, that's
That was a good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Walking Dead, go find her, hire her.
yeah.
It wasn't as gripping as I remember, but I would have
Yeah.
been 5 years younger.
Well,
so.
and plus, not to mention, like, for me, this was my third time, so it's like I kind of forgot a lot of it, but at the same time, I kind of know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So it wasn't quite as... But that's surprising that it was, like, your first time, and it just wasn't... I remember my first time, and I'm like, holy crap.
I'm probably not an alien friendly moviegoer.
Really?
So no District
Not
9 will be racist
just-
to all those.
I didn't know.
Man.
I didn't even like
You?
The Alien series is never really...
I liked it
I-
as a beginning.
I've seen them all once.
But I don't like the Alien trilogy. Four.
Yeah.
Quad, yeah.
The fourth one. It's not even considered a movie. It's so bad.
It's like a spin-off of nothing.
It's the worst movie I've ever seen. No.
Alright.
So final opinions.
Let's start with Kyle. Throw it off and start.
like a rating right now.
Yeah. Out of our normal 10.
5.3.
5.3.
5.3. Now I'm glad because I was really just wanting it above 5. So I can go with
It was
that.
hard.
Yeah.
5.3 is like max.
Yeah, okay. No, that's cool.
So I feel like I give this number to a lot of movies.
What, you're 3.14?
No. Just a solid
I don't know why it's
7.0.
high.
7.0. Just solid. It was a good movie.
You said 7?
7.
Oh.
7 on the dot. Like, no.
Oh.
It's like...
Oh, I feel bad.
It almost works into the 6s, but it's just slightly better than a 6, so it's a 7.
Alright. And IMDb rates this movie right now to 7.1.
Yeah.
I, unfortunately, am actually going to go lower than Chris.
You keep going low on all these movies.
At a 6.8.
Oof.
Okay, well, It's still almost.
I liked it.
You didn't want to do 6.9 for some reason, right?
Okay. Edit that out, Chris. This is for you, Chris.
Jeez.
6.8 just because I didn't... Like, I enjoyed it, and it's still in my top 5 for sci-fi, but I still personally feel like if they were to redo this, they could have made it so much better, but make it longer. Not some, 111-minute movie.
Yeah, it was pretty short, but at the same time, it felt like it was
long.
done. It was done when it...
But they could have expanded
split it up,
more
yeah.
and made it go a bit faster and drawn the story out a little. Well, the trailer for this movie actually was back in 2011 was the train scene.
Yeah.
And it was that was it. And it was just Super 8.
Yeah.
And that just gripped you right away. It's that's it.
Yeah.
That's when trailers were really good, where they just gave you that one scene.
Hey, Star Wars Rogue One trailers are the best trailers I've ever seen in my life.
When Darth Vader turns around, it will be. I will go on about that forever.
Me too.
You know what I think about Star Wars?
Oh, you're cool. Just because of the Millennium Falcon TIE Fighter.
It's a black TIE Fighter too.
Yeah.
So it's like a...
Get those books too. You got a book there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got let's see here. 1 Star Wars book.
Oh boy.
2 Star Wars book. I didn't bring the other one up, but I have one
legacy
downstairs.
book, like an encyclopedia.
It's actually a
drawing
graphic novel.
book.
Drawing book. Is that a
Clone
stuffed
Wars
animal?
DVDs.
That's an adult
stuffed animal over
That's
there.
an adult coloring book.
Star Wars is number 1.
All right, I think we're done for this one, right?
Yeah. So
Oh yeah,
you
I
gotta
get
pick
to
the
pick.
genre.
So
Oh, for me.
yeah.
So we would be doing our friend Jeremy probably, but I doubt he's gonna make it this week. So until he's actually here one week.
And we started with Kyle's musical.
Yep.
Chris did family, and I did sci-fi.
So we can't repeat those once a month. So we still have a
Only got 2
Couple-
in this section. Maybe.
next week. Somebody could theoretically.
Oh, I just
pick
bought
a
that
musical,
movie.
but-
Okay. You know what? I do want to see Kyle's choice for this now. I'm gonna choose thriller.
Thriller.
I'm kind of in that mood where we kind of watched a sci-fi thriller, but to me it just wasn't a thriller.
Oh, you
all that
guys
much.
are gonna be in for a treat.
But
Is
I
it-
don't
it's not 10
Is it gonna be a
Cloverfield.
full-on horror movie?
no,
or
it's not 10 Cloverfield.
like
Not
a
10.
Saw
We're not-
7
we're
or
not
something.
allowed.
or-
We're not allowed.
Saw
horror. That
7
was-
is horror, and no, we're not watching that Saw.
I know.
We
it's
made that
horror,
rule at
but-
the beginning. No
yeah,
horror.
No horror.
Because horror is stupid. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, not describe, down below. And we'll see you next week for Kyle's Thriller.